Hi there guys, FMU here in my glasses because I can't be bothered to wear contact lenses to recording because that's the way I roll. So, what is this gubbins I hear you say? Today I've decided to try and help the newer people out who have come to FM with the editor, the pre-game editor. Now you can download hundreds and probably thousands of different editor databases, scenarios, and other wonderful things on the websites. But sometimes people like to do things themselves. People like to put themselves in the game. People like to create their own clubs. People like to, I don't know, move teams around the league and stuff. So we're going to do a little mini series, if you will, of tutorials on how to use the editor. First of all, you need to install it, and it is easy as peas. You just have to go into your Steam account, as you can see, head to your library where you'll have obviously the games and stuff installed. You click on the word library and then you go to tools, and that will bring you to this page here, as you can see there, tools. Not insulting us, but just stating the fact that you're in the tools page. So all you have to do then is click on the Football Manager 2015 editor and press install, follow the instructions. It's as simple as that. It is no more difficult than anything else. It's very simple, very easy to do. Doesn't take long at all. In fact, I could give you a quick demonstration here. Click on 2014, double click, choose where you want it to go. My Steam folder is in a external hard drive. It says it'll take around 4 minutes, which it probably won't. It'll probably be done a lot quicker than that. Hit next, blah blah blah, hit next, and just then hit install. It will install it and it'll be ready to go. It will then create a desktop shortcut like this. There's my desktop shortcut right there. Double click on that to open it up, and you will get this. It will load up the custom database, the default database that is already on there. So we're going to take it one step at a time. This is the first time you've loaded it up, okay? And you want to, let's say you want to add yourself. So we want to go through and do the basics. So we'll use me as an example. Paul Howarth. Simple. Common name. That's if you want to give them like a nickname or something like Babeo, Bebe, Nanny, Ronaldo. I know that's their surnames and stuff, but they go by those names, so that sort of thing. So that's the full name. You can edit this and put your middle name in if you want, and then just put in the common name Paul Howarth, because that'll be the name that shows up. So next thing is what you want to be. So player, non-player, blah blah blah. You've already selected to add a player, but if you click the wrong button, you don't have to delete the man. You can just go in and select the other option there. Now this bit here, ethnicity, is one of those where very often it depends really where you're from or where the player you're creating is from. If you don't know, just leave it. If you're not sure which one to select, just leave unknown. It doesn't make that much of a difference, to be honest, as far as I've noticed anyway. But what we'll do is, here we've got mixed race, black or white, or both. We've got African Caribbean, so but I'm going to leave mine as unknown. I never change it, so I'm not going to now. Hair colour. This will be for your 3D match engine player. So I have kind of not dark brown hair, it's kind of medium brown, but there's no medium, so we'll go with light brown. And skin tone, there's a lot to choose from, but just go through. See, that's too dark for my skin. That's probably still too dark for my skin. Maybe that's too pale. It's like the the porridge. Number 7, that'll do. The porridge and the Three Bears thing. Next up is your date of birth. So we'll just pop. Oh no, not 20. That's wrong. 1983. There, and that's your date of birth. So you can put anything in there. You can't be younger than 15. If I remember rightly, 15 is the lowest you can go. So, if you're younger than that, you'll have to just put yourself in as 15. And then what you can do, if you wish, is download the in-game editor and change your age to suit when you get to the age when you would be coming in. If say if you're 14 and you want to be the exact right age on the game, you can do the first year as the 15-year-old. Then when your birthday kicks in, you can go to the in-game editor and swap back again. So you can do that. Nobody's gonna mind. Okay, so we've got the date of birth there. Next up, place of birth. If you don't know this, ask your parents. So we'll pop that in. I spelt it wrong. There we go. That's better. Nuneaton. Okay. So there it will default bring in the region of birth, the nation of birth. And then, even though it's got nation of birth, you could choose to add. I don't imagine. Oh my God, I can't spell today at all. I don't imagine that is going to make much of a difference if you didn't fill it in, but we will, just to be on the safe side. You want to select an agent, you can. Declare for nation. This is where if you're dual nationality and you want to ensure that you play for England over Scotland or whatever, or vice versa, you can click declare for nation. That will declare you for the nation that you pop there. If you want to be, say if you're part English, part Nigerian, and you want to play for Nigeria, ensure that you put nation as Nigeria there, and then click declare for nation and put England or whatever as your second nationality in a further screen. I apologise, I'm getting over a cold and it is very annoying. So you click that. This is a new feature actually, as far as I know. This wasn't on previous games. But you I suppose if you choose dual nationality, it will give you the option to choose which nation you're declared for there. So I've only just spotted that. So you see, I've learnt something new today myself. If you want to not be involved in international football, if you're an elder player like myself, you can select international retirement. And I'm going to do that. And you can select an international retirement date. This field is used to indicate the date the player retired from international football. It cannot be used to set a future international retirement date. So if we just go 30th 06 2012, that'll do. Then this bit here, you can select if the player is to retire after this spell at the club. This is good for those who want to kind of simulate the player manager thing. You can create yourself as a player. You can also then be the manager, and if you want to ensure that the player doesn't move to another club, you can click retiring after spell at club. I will do that now. If you want to say you've had international appearances, you just fill that in. All very simple. Oh, there's the second nation screen there. That used to be in I think it was relationships at one point, or somewhere like that. It used to be in a different place. So there you go. I think that's only just moved there. Honestly, sometimes you spot things when you're doing a tutorial that you've never really paid attention to before, that you take for granted. So that's the first screen set. Second screen we want to look at is the club contract screen. Now, if you don't want to be part of a club, you just don't fill it in. You leave it blank. But for the purposes of said tutorial, we are going to put ourselves at Nuneaton Town. Okay, and then this is where you can edit your contract details. If you leave that at 0, you won't start with no wages. It will just automatically generate a wage. You know, so you don't have to worry about that. But you can edit those to whatever you want. So, you know, we'll leave it and we'll see what it generates in the end. But if you want to take the time to edit it, you go for it, guys. It's, you know, it's down to you. If you are a member of staff, also, if it's a player, non-player, you can give them a national job. So you could say play for Nuneaton Borough in the conference, but be the under-19s manager of Botswana. You know, it's one of those. If you wish to put yourself out on loan, you can add where's that gone? Why is that doing that? You can add loan spells on the bottom. You know, you can just add a loan deal. Let me just, stupid thing, it's being cray. You can add a loan deal or whatever. The options are normally at the bottom of the screen, but my screen is being an idiot, so there you go. Future transfer is the same. You can select and add, like, say if you are a completely made up manager and you want the player you to start off at Joe Bloggs FC and join Super Champions of the World FC 3 years later for £25 million, you can edit that in. Extra contract details, player type. This is for the registration leagues such as USA and Australia. You don't, unless you're from those places, you don't need to worry about that. The draft and all that sort of stuff. Not had a lot of dealings with this, if I'm honest. I've never really tinkered in those areas of the world in Football Manager, to be honest. So that's the contract side of things. Very simple. Personal data. Now, this is where you basically shape and mould the player you are going to be in the game, or the person who's going to be in the game. You can change these. So if you want the guy to be an absolute unprofessional idiot, you can hit that to 1 and he will be an unprofessional idiot. You want him to be very professional, you can knock it up to 20. Okay, we'll just leave it at that for now. Now, if you want to do the player manager thing, you have to do this next bit. Otherwise, your player, when he retires, will become a coach or a man. Who will more than likely become. It's very rare that the creative players don't want to be in football anymore afterwards off their own bat. So you have to make sure they don't want to. So you would think that you need to knock this down to 0, but when I've done that before, it hasn't worked. So I don't know why I pressed 0 then. So what we need to do is make sure all of these are 1. This is only if you don't want the player to be stay on as a member of staff once he retires, you know, stay in the game. That will ensure that he doesn't want to do anything. Okay, so he'll retire, leave the game completely, which is why it's good for those who want to do the player manager feature. Retirements. This is where you can select, you know, add player retirement, professional player retirement, you know, level 1 player retirement, non-player retirement, whatever. So you can, if you are, say if you're like at the moment, and my contract is classed as full-time. If you're at a full-time club in the conference and you want to phase your player out, so to speak, you can retire from professional football, say in 1 year, and then set a full retirement date a few years later. So he drops down from professional to only playing semi-professional football, and then after that retires completely. So it's a cool way of sort of phasing your player out, but we're going to clear that. We don't need to really worry about it too much. Languages speaks for itself. You speak other languages, you add it, and you add between 0 to 20 on your, you know, your ability to speak that language. Days at club and in nation. This is where you can choose to avoid a work permit issue if you would have one, depending on where you are playing and where you are from. You can add this to say if you were born in Nigeria and you had no ties to Scotland, maybe, You could say that you've been in Scotland for 6 years, whatever. So he's popped the equivalent to 6 years worth of days into there, and the job is a good one. Career plans. This is another one. This is, you can add the fail-safe. Conditions: does not want to be, okay, manager. You could just wipe all of that out as well, just to doubly, completely ensure that your created player does not continue in the game after retirement. So player data. This is where you get to choose how good you are. So you can pop in there your shirt name. So those of you who play 3D match engines will see it. Current ability. It recommends the current ability of 66. So we'll pop 66 in there. It's best to go off that, because otherwise your player kind of gets out of kilter a little bit. But what happens is, if you come into here and change these attributes, it will change the recommended current ability. So this is where we'll just go in, right, and we'll just do, we're not going to make me a brilliantly amazing player. We'll just 7 work rate 12, vision 8, teamwork 11. You know, just edit those as you go along, do whatever. Select your position. So we'll just go striker. You can have more than one. Obviously between 1 and 20 is the best of the ability. So you can change this, look, non-set, but you can central when free. You know, this is the preferred positions. So non-set, right central when free, left or central when free, central when free. You know, it's self-explanatory really. So mental attributes have changed slightly. Physical attributes, I'm quite a strong guy, so we'll put 15. My stamina isn't as great anymore, 9. I used to be quick, but I'm not as quick, so 12. Natural fitness, I don't know, we'll say 10. You know, just put in there what you want. You can make yourself the best player in the world, whatever. It doesn't particularly matter what you do. It's your game. You do what you want. You know, just do how you want it. And then there's all the others like crossing, finishing. So the only one I'm going to mess around with is finishing. So when the game loads up, though, it will load up these other features for you, determined by, he says, determined by what you put in here. Now, you see it's gone up to 92 now from 66. So we'll go 92. Potential ability is the best level this guy can reach in the game as a player, like skill wise, ability wise, and all of that. So I don't know, because he's not, we'll just put 100. 31-year-old, you know, coming to the end of his career, or the twilight years of his career. And so we'll just do that. And you can add your reputations if you want. If not, it will do it for you. Then height, we can never get this right. 162, and we'll go 88, whatever. I'm predominantly right-footed. I can do a little bit with my left foot, so we'll hit that. Has no work permit. This is, you know, this is again all that. If you're from a country that has national service status, you can hit that. Completed or ineligible. You know, it's entirely up to you. Then you can add the trained in nation and trained by club. This is where the player was first brought into the game and trained from the early age. And this is the club he started his career at, the academy, the youth, you know, the youth setup, whatever. So what we'll do is we'll add in here England, type between 15 and 21. Did that work? 3 years. Why have you gone Algeria? Oh, sorry. I apologise. That's me being an idiot. Why won't you change? Okay, that's weird. That is very weird. Why won't that change? No. Well, we'll remove that. And then you can add that. For some reason that was playing up there. I have no idea why. But well, that's live. And then obviously we show positions. If you want to start with any bans or injuries, you can do. Or preferred moves. This is the moves that the player will carry out on the pitch. I always used to like shooting with power. I always love trying to lob the goalkeeper, and then you can do other things like, cut inside, arrive late in the area, so on and so forth. Relationships is where this is favoured personnel, so we'll just add search Dario. Let's see if you click in the box. Dario Gradi. Hit enter, it will find the people whose name matches. Double click on that, 100% reason, and then you can select father, brother, son, relation, teammate, manager, player, backroom staff, idol. Kind of an idol to me. Select it as permanent, that will never go away. Same with clubs, add, bop, bip. Hit in there, hit that. For Alex, okay, reason, supporter, 100%. There you go, very simple. Then if you have player history, you can add it in there. So we could perhaps say, I don't know, let's just do this from 1999. Oh, excuse you. Sorry about that. My Norton internet thing decided to flash up in my face. To 2014. Oh, no, stupid. I'm stupid, I apologise. From 1999, Nuneaton Town, Division, Search, Conference. Okay, youth team, we could do this. 252. Oh, 200 appearances. Okay, it's topped me off at 200 appearances. 1, 2, 1. Okay, so once you load up the game, you will want to make sure you have your edited data file loaded. So, see how we've got this here, editor data files, 2 enabled, 5 in total, custom. Click on edit. It should have already have selected the file you've done, but you may want to remove old ones, or you may want to start a new save without it, or it might not do it, so you just want to check if it has. So we've got tutorial player, and we've got league and data updates. We'll switch that off and just have tutorial player on the bar. We'll click confirm. We want to be in England. We want that, that's correct. Okay, start game. Okay, so we've started up the game. Okay, if we go into the squad, you'll see there I am there in all my glory. So what we want to do now is, as you are fully aware, there is no face there, the faceless man. So what we want to do is we want to add a player. Okay, so I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it. We have, I'm not going to show you how to edit the picture, because the pictures, I've done that in a previous video, which I'll link below, showing you how to change your manager's photo during the game. So go back and check that out. But this is where the code, the ID for the player, really comes in handy. So if you haven't written it down, don't panic. You can go to preferences. Okay, you can go to interface, and you can select where's it gone, show screen IDs in taskbar. Okay, so if you click that, click reload skin or confirm, it will then, when you go to say me, myself and I, it will bring up my unique ID in brackets next to me there. Look at that ugly mug. Look at the you can see where my nose got broke when I was playing. Jesus. Anyway, so I'm just going to pause it and get the folders up and ready, and then we can add them to the game. Okay, so you need to go into your libraries, documents, and Sports Interactive, or the folder where you have saved your copy, installed your copy of Football Manager. It will be the top. There will be 2 Sports Interactives. It is normally the top folder. Then go into Football Manager 2015 and graphics. If you don't have a graphics, if you're not downloading any graphics, I highly recommend just creating your own graphics folder and downloading a face pack, a player photo face pack. Very simple to install. Download it, put it in the graphics. There's plenty of tutorials out there, and then you can use the config file from that to edit your own photo in to the player. Open up graphics. I've got a lot, but here we have the mega pack, and this is my mega pack of football friendly faces. Okay, so I need to scroll all the way to the bottom to the config file, and we need to click on it once, right click, open with Notepad. Okay, open with Notepad, and it's opened up on the opposite screen. How wonderful. Come on. Oh, this thing's going to take forever to load because it's such a humongous file. There we go. So I'll open this out a bit, and you can see it's got all this craziness in it. Okay, so what I tend to do is I scroll to the bottom, and now I will take this bottom record here, okay, and I will copy it. Okay, so once you've copied it, go down to the line below, tab across twice, and paste it. So you've got two of the same. Then go to this number here, okay, and pop in 139463158 and that is your player's unique ID. So just copy his unique ID, okay? Don't put the exact same number I've put in. Then copy that and paste it into there, into that portrait, so it's there, and it will look like that. Next up, file, save. Important, must save. Okay, now what you need to do is as follows. Whatever you put in here, you know, in this column here, that number is what the photo needs to be called. The PNG file needs to be called the same. So we can close that down, and then here it is here, aptly named face. Rename, and because we've already copied it, we can just paste that in, hit enter, and it's there. So then we can drag, pop that in there, and it's appeared at the bottom. Okay, now I don't want that to stay in there forever, so we're going to copy it, and I'm just going to pop a copy in there. Okay, so we can close that down, and we can close that down. If we go to FM and preferences, okay, then into interface, clear the cache, yes, reload skin. Okay, so we've gone now back over to the squad screen after reloading. Takes a few minutes sometimes, or a few seconds depending on your system and whatnot, but if we click on the player profile, there it is in all its disgusting glory. He is there. He's got a face. Now the picture's a little bit squished in because I didn't resize it again when I was doing the tutorial the other day, but you can play around with the size as long as it's in the correct pixel formation size type thing that I said in the other video. Anyway guys, that is creating a player. That is the very basics of creating a player, to be honest. We could have gone into a lot more detail, but this video is already about 30 minutes long. So you know, just do those, follow those, play around with it a bit. If you're not happy, just reload, you know, just go back into the editor, retry again, or tweak it to however you want it to be, and you'll, you know, it'll work out. I am not 5'4". I typed the wrong thing in. But this is where, if you've got the in-game editor, which is here, you can change said things. Player attributes, player personnel. I think you can you change the height of the player in these? I thought you might be able to. That's very odd. Very odd indeed. But you change his skin colour and stuff, give him a tan if he goes to play in Spain. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped some of you out. I'll probably get dislikes on it because it won't have helped some of you out, but that's fine. That's life. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please drop a like, subscribe, comment, do all those amazing things that makes YouTube such a wonderful place to be. See you later, guys. Hope this has helped.